Okay, guys, what is a fetch? A fetch is a spirit being, a creature that exists in the spirit world. The next world, the spirit world is adjacent to the world of the living and to the corporeal world. A fetch is a shape-changing spirit. Um, it can take solid form. Usually, it'll take the form of another person. It'll take the form of a small animal, um, insects, things like that. Uh, the purest definition of a fetch, though, in most lore, especially Irish folklore, fetches, when they appear before people, they usually take the form of a person. They're considered bad luck or ill fortune that will befall the person that they have taken the form of and appeared in front of. Um, to the extreme, it means that person's probably going to die when a fetch appears before them. But the fetch, as a being, as a creature, um, is far more terrifying and far more insidious, and than that, than some fairy tale critter. A fetch feeds off of fear. That's its primary sustenance. Is what it needs, fear to survive. They exist to evoke fear and create fear, especially out of children. Because children, of course, it's easier to scare a child and to play off of their fears. And they feed off of it. Fetches, unlike a lot of other spiritual beings, don't need to be invited into your home to come into your home. But what they do need to get into your home and to travel, basically, from the spiritual realm into our world or into someone's house is a very highly reflective surface. It could be still water, chrome, hell, even a shiny wooden floor or linoleum. They can use a reflective surface. To them in the spiritual world, this is a window and a door where they can peer through it and see if it's worth their time coming through to feed. In the case of Goblin House, what the fetch was using was the mirror, that old mirror, to pass in and out of the house, out of its world into the house, to feed. It's not easy to get rid of a fetch. Leaving it alone, it just becomes more hateful. It's like it's addicted to crack. A little bit of fear is not enough. It needs more and more and more and more. To get its fix every night, it needs more and more fear to be generated. A fetch does. So this thing was just not. This was just not a one or two times thing. This thing was going to keep coming back to this house over and over and over again. And quite possibly was never going to go away. I had a theory about this particular fetch, using that particular mirror to come in and out. I think it has been to this house before, multiple times. It felt familiar with everything there. It felt familiar with the comings and goings in there. These things don't feel fear. Of course, we evoke fear from people and create fear. Sorry, a little tired. Pulled an all-nighter dealing with this. They're intelligent. they're not mindless animals. These things are very, very intelligent. Everything they do is with a purpose. I wouldn't call them evil, but I wouldn't call them good. I would call them malevolent. Nothing good and pure in this world or in the spiritual world would not be using fear as a sustenance or take great joy out of scaring children so it can be fat and happy. So what I felt that time, I could feel it was figuring out why I was there when it saw me. And the brief contact that I made with it by touching that mirror, it knew that I was there to try to get rid of it. And quite frankly, it didn't appreciate that whatsoever.